Hello. We're going to start writing kind of today. We have our notebook all set up. So you're going to need your writing notebook, scissors, glue, and something to kind of take notes with. You're also going to need this worksheet. Okay? So if you need to print it off or find it in your packet, pause the video while you get those materials. Okay. So we are going to start talking about personal narratives. So I have a short story that I'm going to read to you. Your job is to listen to the story and figure out who is the author writing about. Who is our story about? And then we'll answer the next question at the very end, okay? So here is our story. My mom and I were finally on our way to visit my cousins at a beach house in California. I had been waiting for this trip for what seemed like years. We arrived at the airport with plenty of time to spare. My mom wouldn't have it any other way. And got through the security lines without any major issues. We lined up at the coffee shop in the airport to get some breakfast and some much-needed coffee for my mom, but the line was taking forever. "Mom, I need to go to the bathroom," I said. I could tell by the look on her face that she didn't want to lose her place in line for her precious coffee to take me. She glanced behind us towards the clearly marked bathroom signs. "Go ahead," she said. "The bathroom's right there, and you're old enough to go by yourself. I'm sure that I'll still be in line by the time you're done." Feeling very grown up, I nodded and walked toward the bathroom. When I was finished, I came out of the doors and looked around. There was a Mexican restaurant and a newsstand in front of me, but no coffee shop. I felt like someone was playing a trick on me. I looked right, left, and right again, hoping that something would start to look familiar, but it didn't. I walked to the left, hoping that it would start to make sense. Panic set in as I turned around and walked to the right, searching the crowd. I tried to remember what Mom had said about getting lost. I had tuned her out, but I think she said something about staying in one place. Or maybe I was supposed to find someone who worked at the airport and ask for help. I decided to head back to the bathroom and wait. I realized that she was probably looking for me too. How would she find me? All of the panicking made me feel like I had to go to the bathroom again, so I headed back in. That's when I saw that there were two entrances to the bathroom on opposite sides. I sprinted out the other doors, and there was my mom. She was waiting and tapping her feet with an anxious look on her face. "Mom!" I yelled. I ran and gave her a hug, which she could only partly return with her hands filled with a bag of food and a cup of coffee. I explained what had happened and added, "Why would they make two entrances to the same bathroom? That's just setting me up for failure." Mom laughed. She put the hand holding her coffee cup to her chest and took a deep breath, finally calming down from the excitement and then taking a sip. "Let's go find our gate," she said. So who is the author writing about in our story? Did you catch it? The author is writing about themselves. It might be a boy or a girl, but it's the kid is talking about something that happened to them, right? Now, I have a question for you. This is a personal narrative, so I want you to think. Is a personal narrative a fictional story or a nonfiction story? Well, this is actually a nonfiction story because it's about something that actually happened and it was not made up. The story was true. Fictional stories or fiction stories are stories that are made up. So personal narratives are nonfiction. They're true things. Okay? We're going to look at our anchor chart next. So find this paper. You're going to cut it out and throw away the scraps and unpause the video when you're ready to fill it out with me. Okay, so now you have your paper all cut out. We're not going to glue it until we're all done with it. So let's look at... I got rid of my picture on accident. I'm sorry about that. I was going to say, I forgot to erase this from earlier. We'll fill it out together again. Okay. Almost. Good enough. So, let me unzoom, make this so it fits. Good. Okay. So, what is a personal narrative? Well, personal narrative is where you are the main character in this true story. You are the main character in this true story. Some examples. I'm going to do a tab, actually. I'm going to make my font a little bigger so you can see it better. Some examples are, this personal narrative could be a story about the time I met my best friend. It could also be a story about the time I forgot to do my homework. And lastly, it could be a story about the time I learned how to make cookies with grandma. All of these are things that really happened. Okay, they're true stories. So pause the video if you need to finish filling this out. All right. Then, when you are all done, you are going to use... let me see if I can get this guy to come back on. There we go. You are going to get your writing notebook and you're going to open it up to that very, very first page. And you're going to glue it right here on the back side of your cover. Right on the inside, not in your resource section, on the back of your cover. So cut it out, fill it out, and glue it in there. Pause the video if you need more time to glue in your worksheet. Good, okay. Well, the last thing that we're going to have to do for writing is you're going to get your attachment that looks like this. It's the personal narrative task cards. Now, there are a lot of pages in here, and we're not going to use all of them. You are going to need, if you want to just write in loose leaf or on a whiteboard and send me a picture, that works. Otherwise, if you go to page 8 in here, it has your task card tracker. You could print this out. You can also just use a piece of scratch paper, something to write down. We only did task cards number, let me go back to the beginning. My computer's being a little slow. So you need to do task cards 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the last ones we did were 9, 10, 11, and 12. You only have to do those. Okay? So you're looking at your task cards and you are thinking about what makes a personal narrative. Remember, it's a true story about you. You are the main character. Okay? So take a look at number 1. Is this a personal narrative? You're just going to write yes or no. A story about the time I went fishing. This one is because it's when I went. I'm the main character. Okay, so you try that with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. If you want to do all the way through 24, you can, but you do not have to. When you're done with 1 through 12, though, if you keep scrolling through to page 9, right after that, there's your answer key. Okay, so look back and check your work when you're done. Afterwards, I just want you to tell me, either with a picture, how your task cards went, telling me what your work on your task cards, or you can just tell me in the comments, I got 12 out of 12, or I got 6 out of 12. Whatever it is, so let me know, okay? To kind of help me check in to see if you're understanding what a personal narrative is about. And that's all we've got for writing today. You're going to finish working on your task cards. Thanks for joining. Bye.